So now we're all set to go, and good morning, everyone. You're all very welcome. Uh, the last lap, yeah, it's hard to believe. Time flies when you're having fun. So this is the revision session, which is 1 week before the exam. And I suppose, as always, we have two different groups of people here. We have people who this is their second exam, and we have people who it's the first exam. That's just the way the term works. So what I really want to do is just go through the whole thing for you. So I'm just doing a quick 15-minute overview of the exam so you know what to expect. That's really what it's all about. So we don't like surprises. That's one of the rules of credit management. We don't like surprises, and our managers don't like surprises either. So I'm going to make sure that for you there are no surprises in this. So, and then at 10:15, then I will hand over to Katrina. She will go through the collections subject in depth in terms of the mock paper, and also give you some pointers for the real paper. Then we take a break from 11 to 11:15, and then Paul will be joining us, and he'll be doing two sessions. So from 11:15 to 12, if you're doing international, Paul will go through the international topic. And then from 12 to 12:45, he'll be doing the law. And then if there's questions or whatever at that stage, or any time throughout, stop and ask questions if there's anything you want to know. And we will do our best to answer them. So what is going to happen? So from now, Paul and Katrina will go through the subjects with you. So you will have a fair idea of what's going to be on the exam paper next week and the structure of the exam paper. So between now and next week, block off a few hours to study. That's the important part. And then rather than beating yourself up because you should be studying, block off from 6 to 8 on Thursday or Tuesday or whatever day. And that's my study time. And go through what needs to be gone through. And then I know it's easy for me to say sitting here is just relax. So just make sure you're prepared for the exam. Make sure you have yourself ready for it. It is a remote exam. There's no Zoom, no nothing. We're not going to be looking at you on a screen or whatever. So what will happen is next Saturday morning at exactly 9:50, so 10 minutes before the exam starts, I will send you either the international paper or the law paper. So you have 10 minutes to read it and to go through it. And in terms of the international paper, yeah, and you've seen the mock paper, so it's going to look exactly like that. Obviously, the questions are going to be different, but the structure of the exam is going to be the same. So there are 10 short questions at the start, and Paul will go through all the details, but like a couple of lines is enough for those 10 questions. And then there's 4 longer questions that you have to answer to. So that is on the international paper. If you're doing the law paper, what you will get at 10 to 10 is your multiple choice questions. So both for law and for elections, the exam is in 2 parts. And what happens is at 10 to 10 for law and at 10 to 1 for collections, I will send out your 50 multiple choice questions. So it's 50 questions and you have to answer as many of them as you possibly can. Is that okay? And you have 1 hour to submit that. Okay, so you get now, excuse me. What I would like to do when I email, because I'm sending it out into the universe, I don't know who's there or who's not there. So the one thing I would ask you is that when you get the email from me at 10 to 10, will you please just acknowledge receipt? And even if you say thanks or got it or just some reaction that I know you're there and you're sitting doing the exam, because otherwise I don't know. So if you can just acknowledge receipt, that would be brilliant. And then And I'm sitting here at the desk, so if you have any questions, you have my mobile number. I'm not going to give you the answers, obviously. I will answer any structural questions that you might have. And I will stay in touch with you during the morning. So for the multiple choice questions, you get 50. Now, what I would say to you is, and look, we recognize you're at home doing the exam. We recognize that you have the notes in front of you. And yes, it is fair. You can use the notes. That's part of the deal. My word of warning for you is that if you're going to rely on the notes, you are going to stress yourselves out to the end because you have 50 questions and 60 minutes. So you only have about 1 minute and 5 seconds for each one. And if you're going to be tearing through notes trying to find answers, you will just do your head in. It's just not worth it. So what I would advise you on the multiple choice questions is go through it. You don't have to do them, one at a time. Go through the paper and answer the questions you know. Okay, so just go through it from top to bottom, and the ones that you know, yeah, that's easy, that's easy, that's easy, but not sure about that. Leave the ones you're not sure about and go back. Is that okay? And look, if you have a few minutes, and you do take a sneak look at the notes, that's fine too if you want to get. Now, the timing is important, that you have only 1 hour, you have to send it back to us within 1 hour. And just do the best you can. There is no negative marking, so you're not going to get minus marks for any questions. So just to be aware of that. So I suppose what I'm really telling you there is an answer is better than a blank space, because you get no marks for a blank space, and you have a 1 in 4 chance of getting something if you put an answer. So anyway, that's just my advice. And also just remember, you only need 40, you only need 20 out of 50 in order to pass the exam. So, I know y'all perfectionists and want to get everything perfect. That ain't gonna happen. Just do the best you can. That's the important part. Now, the prize for getting your multiple choice answers in early is that when I get your multiple choice questions here, so you just, when you're finished, just attach the file and send it back. You can use the papers we send you to put your answers on. It's up to you, whatever you find easiest. So, there's no format or whatever, particularly for the long questions. If you want to answer the questions on the paper and submit that, that's fine. If you want to create a new Word document, that's fine too. So whatever you find easiest is what you can do. So that is that. When you're finished with your 50 multiple choice questions, just attach it to the email and send it back to me. I will acknowledge receipt. And once I get the multiple choice questions, I will immediately send you the long questions. Is that okay? So if you finish your multiple choice questions after 50 minutes, it means you have an extra 10 minutes to do the long questions. So it is in your interest to get them in as soon as possible. So for law, you will get your multiple choice questions at 10 to 10. You submit those by 11 o'clock. Then you get your long questions. And the long questions, both for collections and for law, there are 4 long questions and you only have to answer 2. So again, do the 2 that you find easiest. That's what it's all about. And also remember, from a time management perspective, so manage your time. So look, it's pretty easy for collections and law because you have 1 hour to do 2 questions, which is exactly 30 minutes per question. Okay, and 30 minutes should be plenty of time to give a full answer. So, time is not going to be a pressure. The only thing I would advise you is, if you do get to 30 minutes and you're still answering the first question, stop. Just stop, even mid-sentence, stop. Go on and do the second question, and then come back and finish it off if you have to, because you've got most of the marks. If you spend the whole hour just doing one question, no matter how well you do, you're only going to get half the marks. Yeah. So if you give it your best shot for half an hour, stop, then give the second question your best shot, and then go back and tidy up. That's fine. So that's that, and then you submit the papers to me. I'll acknowledge receipt of them, and that is fine. Very much on the long questions, well, I suppose all questions, will you please just read the questions carefully? Because, you know, it's the most frustrating thing, somebody who knows what they're doing and they just don't answer the question they're asked. So read the question and make sure you're answering the question that we give you. So that is grand. Guys, we have read the notes. In fact, we probably wrote the notes. So cutting and pasting large chunks of the notes in your answers is not going to get marks. Okay. This is your opinion that we want. And hopefully the questions are phrased correctly in order to do that. So cutting and pasting large chunks of notes, we'll recognize it straight away. And I know we don't particularly like that. The other thing as well, and we've got some great answers from ChatGPT in the past as well. Some I was dead impressed with. The only problem is the exam is based on the notes that you received. So again, we will spot ChatGPT a mile away. So that is that. Because there's Stephen's coming in. Yeah, okay. So that is that. So guys, it has to be your own work, your own opinions, and that's what we're looking for. So no copy and paste. And you know, we know you only have half an hour. You're not going to write a book. So that is fine. So 10 minutes to read the paper. If for the long questions, start with the easiest and just submit your answers. And remember as well that there's only 3 grades in the exam. So there's a distinction if you get above 80%, a merit if you get above 60, and a pass if you get above 40. So, you know, going for perfection, 81% is a distinction. So, you know, anything above that is not required. So please just come and do your best, relax as best you can, put your best effort into it, and then submit it and forget it. So we're not going to hang on forever. We reckon we'll have the results letters out to you within 2 weeks. So it's not a long process. So from the time you sit the exam next Saturday, within the following Friday week, by that date, you will have your results letters and confirmation. And for those of you who are finished, that's it. You're entitled to your diplomas. Those of you who are halfway through, take the summer off, and then we're back again in September. So that is that. I hope you can relax and just give it your best shot. In the event of something going wrong, what if something goes wrong? If something goes wrong, we'll deal with it. Is that okay? And if the sky falls in and you can't do the exam next Saturday, we'll make alternative arrangements for you. Is that okay? And some people think, what if I fail? Now, I'd say failure is not an option. So again, just to put your minds rest, what's the worst that can happen if I fail the exam? Well, if you do, again, we'll make alternative arrangements with you to reset it. So we're not going to leave you high and dry. And we will accommodate you, and we have done that all through the years. So look, listen today very carefully. Listen to what the tutors are saying. They are giving you a hint. I'm recording this session. I will send it to you so you can listen back if there's anything that's not clear. And on that basis, then, I hope that you'll be able to relax and enjoy the whole process. So that is that. I'll stop the recording now and see if you want to ask any questions, and I'm happy to do that.